guys, hope everyone is doing well. Today I wanted to make a video on this app slash website slash database slash something that I've been using in the last few weeks to completely organize every area of my life. Now I'm telling you, this is a complete game changer. I had planned to go through my phone and screen record, but then I realized I'm using my phone to film. If only I had a brain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through on my laptop, because this program can be used both on your phone and on your laptop. Now I am still quite new to this program, but I am absolutely loving it, and it's so easy to use, and you kind of build the whole thing from scratch depending on what you want. So I'll get right into it. Okay, so starting out with the home page. So as you can see, I've got a photo at the top here. This used to be a photo of a lounge room because it's the home page, but I saw this on Instagram the other day and I thought that was a perfect reminder. And then I've also got a quote there, and again, just another reminder to myself. It's something I want to see all the time. And as you can see, I've split up my homepage into personal, business, random stuff, and a to-do list. So we'll start with the personal section. So the first thing I've got here is a reading list. So if I were to see an article online or a Reddit thread or something that I want to come back to, I'll just pop it into this reading list. I haven't used this one too much yet. I just used a template that Notion offer, but I have also downloaded the Notion web clipper. So if you're looking at an article online, there's a little Chrome extension that puts it straight into your reading list, which is super handy. So I'm looking forward to using this one a bit more in the future. The second thing on the list is a journal page. I never have been one for daily journaling, but it's something I really want to do. So I thought this would be a good idea to make sure I'm recording my thoughts and I can come back to it in the future. The second one I have is a financial folder, so I'll put different things in there. I have a folder for something that I'm working on at the moment, and as well as an ETF wish list. So if I see a cool exchange traded fund that I want to purchase, I'll put it in this wish list, and when I've got the money I will go and invest in that. So that's been super handy as well. Then I've got goals. That's just simply a folder of all of my goals, short term, medium term and long term. I then have a folder for education. So lately I've been looking into different courses that center around behavioral economics. So the main one that I've seen is in London. I've just popped that in there, and you can just paste a link into a page and then make it a bookmark like this, so that you can just click on it and it will open in a new page. And then there are a few different options in Australia, as well as just some random notes about the field of study that I'm considering going into. Now the next folder is a book list. So this is where I put in all of the books I'm currently reading or have read. And the reason I put this in here is, one, to have a bit of a database of what I've been doing, but also when I'm listening to a book or reading a book, I like to make notes, little parts that stood out to me, little quotes. And this is kind of where I'm storing all that information. So Thinking Fast and Slow is a book that I'm currently reading right now. Daniel Kahneman is a behavioral economist, which is obviously very much in line with my interests. So that's what I'm reading right now on Audible. Next thing I've got on the list is travel. I've just got a few random things in here. Keeping a list of countries I've visited, a bit of an outline for my next Europe trip, which was planned for December, but I very much doubt I'll be doing a Europe trip this year, which is a shame. Next thing I've got is just a folder within a folder for random notes, things that don't really need to be on the homepage. I don't need to see these every day. But the first one is a list that I'm keeping of the things I've achieved this year or significant dates of this year, so that I can come back and review that in the new year. I keep a list of gift ideas. If someone ever mentions that they like something, I'll write it down so that when their birthday comes around, I look like the most thoughtful person in the world. Then I've got album reviews. A good friend has tasked me with reviewing a few different albums, so I've just been making my notes in there. Names, this is just where I keep pretty names, just for the future, you know. Habits, I write down all of my good habits, my bad habits, what I want to change, and what just tracking that in general. If you've read Atomic Habits, you would know all about habit tracking, so that's really inspired me. And then just a few other ones that I won't bother explaining because they won't make sense to anyone but myself. So moving back to the homepage, I then go to the business section. So this is where I keep notes of all my projects that I'm working on. So the first one is obviously YouTube. This is where I'll write down what the purpose of my YouTube channel is so that I never forget, what my goals are for the year, different ideas for videos. I have an Instagram folder in here, which you can see, where I write down the Instagram tags I regularly use, There's like an Instagram planner that I've downloaded from someone else's template. I'm yet to use it, but it's super cool, as you can see. So if your Instagram is important to you, you might like something like that. And then going back, I then have like a little database of the videos I'm working on and have uploaded. So I can put in the title of the video, a little icon next to it, and then this says if I'm editing, if I've scheduled it, or if it's an idea, different tags, the date that it was published, and I can organize by that. And then when you actually go and click into these different titles, I've used Thomas Frank's template to have a video building system. So put in all the information here, I add a cover photo, and then I have lists of resources that I need to pop in the description box, as well as an editing checklist. So I found this super helpful just to make sure I cover everything. I've still got blah 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 in there, just ignore that. And then also a publishing checklist, which I used again Thomas Frank's template and edited it to be relevant to my videos because I'm nowhere near as cool as him. So every time I have a new idea for a video, it opens up this whole template and I just fill it out with the new information. Really holds me accountable and makes sure I'm not missing anything in the process. And then back to the homepage, I've just got a few other projects or ideas that I'm working on, so I won't go too much into those. That could be for a future video. And then my little stuff section, if I just have a random thought or something I need to file away into one of these folders but I don't have time to do it because I'm on a run or I'm at work, I'll just dump it in there, and then later that night I'll go categorize that. So that's been very helpful as well. And then I put a to-do list on my homepage. I'm sure there's probably a more efficient, cleaner way of doing this, but for me, having that every time I open my Notion app, having the things I need to do right there has been super helpful. So, and then I can tick them off as I complete them as well, which is obviously very satisfying and a good motivator to actually get shit done. But having that there is super helpful. Whenever I think of a random thing I've got to get done at some point, I'll just pop it in the to-do list and then I'll come back to it later. So that's more or less how I've been using Notion at the moment. In order to build this little system that I've got now, I did look at some other people's systems on YouTube or through the Notion template gallery, which is free and a huge help, and kind of built something that works for me. I imagine in the future I might want to switch this up, or I might have new features that I want to add. So maybe in a few months' time I'll make an updated video on how I'm using it at that point. And I'd also like to make a template so that anyone can download it and just start using it for themselves as well. In order to start using Notion, my recommendation would be to watch YouTube videos on how others have set it up. I will leave a link in the description box to the two that helped me the most. Those are two great YouTubers, and the fact that they were freaking out over this app made me realize that I needed to have it in my life as well. So prior to Notion, I was using a few different applications. I was using Trello for video production and video ideas, which is an absolutely awesome app. I still need to figure out how to import some of that information into Notion. I also use Todoist as a to-do list app, so if you're not wanting to do this full Notion setup, I'd highly recommend Todoist. It's so easy and it's such a good way to remind yourself of everything you need to get done. And actually there are a ton of other apps that I use that I kind of haven't been going to anymore since using Notion. So it really is like an all-in-one kind of thing, and honestly I'm obsessed with it. And I wanted to make, oh no, my lights have gone out. And I wanted to make this video because I've been recommending to all of my friends, and this is probably just the quickest way to get the good word out there, so you are welcome. I hope you all enjoyed looking at how I'm currently organising my life and you get some inspiration to maybe do the same for yourself. If you do start using Notion, I'd absolutely love to see how you're using it, so feel free to send me a message on Instagram, Azaria_Bell. I'd love to see like a screenshot of the homepage or different ideas that you have, because I'd love to take those ideas on for myself. And let me know if you would like to see a video on how I built this system, and maybe make a template as well for everyone to just copy and paste into their own. If you'd like to see more videos on productivity or personal finance, which is my main area of specialty, please feel free to subscribe below, give this video a like as well, and send it on to any friends that you think might like Notion. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!